Cleaning violation. Welcome back to the HAF Hour here. Huge day. We got T-Dags, Tyler Medaglia on here. As the caretaker says, number 5 is alive.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, Tyler, what's up today, man?
Oh, not too much. I actually just went up and checked out the old property, and I was surprised I didn't see Mike up there. Yeah, just having a good day up here. Scotty Timex is going on.
Yeah, the Callous Madhouse here. Yeah, well, that's too good, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, you've been fucking racing all summer, getting after it, having a pretty good summer too, eh?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been busy. It's been like since the COVID thing, we didn't go out west for a couple of seasons, so it was nice to go back out west, and especially starting in Kamloops. That's a really good track. It's super fun. That Kamloops is like one place in Canada that I thought or anywhere really, that I was like, you know what, that'd be one place where I could live. Like I could.
Yeah. You know, that'd be your favorite track out there for sure, probably.
No, not track wise. Just like the place. It's just cool.
Oh yeah, the weather's really good too, isn't it? Kamloops, yeah.
There's like wicked. If you want to play, there's trails and biking and motocross and boating and just everything is out there. It's pretty cool, and I think they probably get a decent a good winter, but nothing stupid. So, yeah. We were just
perfect little mix in there.
Yeah, you go to places and you're like, could you live here? No, absolutely not. It'd be cool for 2 weeks, but not to move. But yeah, Kamloops is a cool spot.
Yeah, no, awesome, man. But I want to hop right back to the start. Growing up in Ontario, man. What? If you can even fill us in growing up in Ontario, what it was like. Your guys' family's property up there is pretty awesome. Your old man's everything he's got going on is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a madhouse. I mean, it's everyone that goes. My dad runs a unique program.
Yeah,
that's what everybody kind of says. And you show up there, and there's. You can feed deer out of your hand, and there's motorcycles and bins, and there's just shit going on everywhere. It's nuts. Yeah. So I didn't actually really grow up. I grew up there.
Yeah.
I guess we moved there when I was, I think maybe in 2002.
Were you born in Ontario though?
Yeah. I was born in Ottawa, and we lived within like a 15 minute radius, let's say, of that. Of Kempville, where all that crazy shit goes on.
Yeah.
We lived in, so I grew up in Vernon, and then that's where I went to like elementary school, and then we moved to this place called Winchester, just outside of Winchester, so that way we had 100 acres and we had a track to train on. And so like before, going back to the start, I guess if we're talking like motorcycles and shit, my dad used to race street bikes. Like he did the Daytona 200.
Oh, I didn't know he actually raced. I knew he was into them. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah,
so that was it.
Did he win some races? Did he?
Oh yeah.
Oh, unreal.
He got. I think he got he got a 4th at one of the Canadian races. I think that was his best pro finish. But like he raced, he raced Daytona and stuff. Like I said, it was pretty cool, and he was just like a maniac.
Crazy.
Like he was late for a race in Kingston and pulled the van over and pulled the race bike out of the van.
Yeah.
And then went 300 kilometers an hour
Holy shit. To make the race on time.
On his
that
race
is
bike
legendary.
With Slicks' numbers.
Yeah.
That's wild.
What a legend. Yeah.
He's a nutcase.
So that's amazing.
And then and he always said that dirt bikes, and he's like, dirt's for potatoes.
Yeah.
He was never really into the dirt bike scene, and then he got me a little bike that they used for like pit bikes.
Yeah.
So like a Honda Z50. My kids rip around in them in the village.
I heard you blew up a ton of them back in the day.
Yeah, just breaking shit. I'm getting the second hand of that now with Talon breaking all my shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I heard that too.
I have to ban him from pit bikes because he just breaks the transmissions. This is exactly what I did. So I deserve it, but
karma come back around.
But so what's cool? So then he got me a little mini bike, and then would come home from work, and I would go down the laneway like wide open right at him, and then I would turn at the last second. And he's like, this guy's nuts. I gotta take him to a track. So then he took me to Sandy, which is still, we raced there in a couple weeks. Like it's still on the circuit.
That's the real Sandy track, is it? Or
not the,
or I might,
you're thinking about Gopher Dunes.
Alberta.
Yeah, no, Sandy is, it is Sandy.
Okay, yeah.
But it's
I've definitely heard the name and heard
it's
people talk
actually
about
a lot like the sand track.
Oh, cool.
That type of dirt.
Yeah.
So it's got a base, but it's sandy up top. So there's actually, it's not like, stupid sand. But anyways, so he took me there when I was a kid, and then that was it. I did well at my first race, and I was battling with this kid. So I got second, and I kept getting seconds, and this kid was I was on a Honda 50 with the balloon tires, and he was on a PW 50 with the skinnier tires.
Yeah.
And the kid could cut down on the side of this jump. It was really sandy, and every time that I would do it with the shitty fat tires, I would tuck the front end and fall over.
Oh yeah.
So, and then my dad's like, "Oh, that kid's cheating. He can't cut down the thing." So then he put a CT70 motor in my Z50.
Oh, unreal.
So then I would crush him on the starts, and so I come to the line with an automatic clutch on a little 50, right? And it's just
fucking gone.
So and then it just pretty much got more and more competitive and serious from there, and then. Then we moved to the second place I was telling you about. We had 100 acres, and then we built a track there for me and my brother and my brother was going on the coattails of our craziness. So whatever my parents learned from being psychotic and gnarly, like hockey 50 parents, like mini dads, to me, they learned, and my brother had it easy, right?
You were the first one through the program. So
I'd get my ass beat if I did shitty and all this stuff. Jeremy did shit. They would just give him a hug or whatever.
So, That'd be.
He'd give me shit if I heard me saying that, but and then really it was just from there on, it kept getting more serious.
Yeah. Now, what would be did you have a big breakout race or moment that was had eyes on you, and that was what kind of started, was holy fuck, I might be able to do this to
so
as a career.
The way it works in racing, it's you always want to go where the big fish are, right? Once we started doing good up home, and then we're like, oh well, let's travel and see what it's like down in the States, because obviously my dad was racing, so he knew how competition worked. So we went down, and then it was a huge eye opener. I got lapped, and these kids on 60s were really, really fast.
Humbled you pretty quick, kind of thing.
I was holy shit! This is what you got to do on these dirt bikes. So it was a pretty big eye opener, and then just being relentless, right? And then that's how it kind of escalated. Then it's okay, well, we need a track at home. We need to practice. We need to ride every night. You need to learn how to hit jumps like these little kids are hitting jumps in the States. So then we'd build big jumps, and then I would figure it out, right?
Exactly.
He wasn't the technique guy, because he was a street bike. There's different techniques, right? So he would just
for sure
see what he would watch the pros and shit. And and then from then it's just kind of then I would start to go back down in the States, and I wouldn't get lapped, right? And then the next year I could see the guys in the front for a few laps, and then they'd yard away, and then halfway through that year I could stay on their tail for the whole race.
Catch them,
right? And then the following year, I would win. So and then the bikes kept getting bigger, and I kept getting better as the bikes got bigger. So it was just more confidence, and a lot of the kids from the States, the really good ones, they'll peak really early, right? Because they go down and they ride all season, they'll ride all year. Right? Where we would get good in the summer, and then we'd have to put the bikes away, because then it would be winter, and
seasonal thing.
We wouldn't do it, and then we'd go in March and go down to Florida for a week or whatever, and then start to climb back up, and it was just a slow trajectory compared to a steep peaking kind of
so really just put the work in and made it happen.
And then once the intermediate is the step before pro. And I think my breakout was that I had in 2003 I had a really good year. I won the regionals to go to the nationals in the States. So I beat some high profile kids in the States before the Loretta Lynn's, and then I had a couple really good motos down in Loretta Lynn's, and then I came to Walton, our amateur national, and I won 8 out of the 9 amateur races.
Oh shit!
And the one that I didn't win, I was leading. And the bike blew up. So it was. And then I went on to, when I turned pro, I raced the pro qualifier, and I ended up beating the guy who won the championship. In the qualifier the next day. So that was kind of put me onto the radar. So in 2003.
No, that's super cool, man. That's awesome. Yeah, you're racing. What do you remember? Your first sponsor or anything like that?
My first major sponsor was Wheel Sport. It's a dealership in Orleans in Ontario. Jim Coleman is the guy's name, and he was pretty much my first sponsor, and then Yamaha stepped up when I was a kid. And
cool, yeah.
Through my amateur career, I was pretty much like an Yamaha, like
cool, yeah.
A kind of.
I didn't even realize that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Then I got so from that season, I did really good, and then I broke my back.
Oh shit! Yeah.
In 2004 in winter training.
Holy Christ!
So I had like a titanium. I had one of my floating ribs removed. I had half the vertebrae removed. I had a titanium cage put in. A vertebrae fused above and below, so my T12 is the one I broke, and they're fused.
Yeah.
I got 3 fused in my back, and then
that's gnarly, man.
A titanium cage in there, and then so it took me about a year to get like all through like rehab back to normal again. Yeah. And then the following year, I busted my arm.
Yeah, staring at that
shit. Yeah.
Scar, so I had
that's a gnarly one, man.
Shattered my arm, and it took twice as long to heal because I had nerve damage up here. My hand wouldn't work.
Oh shit! So yeah.
Apparently, like an inch a month is how long it takes for your nerve to heal.
Oh yeah.
Is what they were telling me. The surgeon said, anyways. And so the damage was way up here, my humerus, and it was like shattered. It wasn't just broken; it was broken in like 10 spots. So
holy shit!
Like the whole thing is super thick because the bone all grew back in between the gaps. So there's a plate on either side, and then it was like this thick. So it's like a monster bone now.
Holy shit! Yeah.
I had a plate put in here on my elbow, you can see.
Yeah.
And you don't realize it, but like you hit your elbows on shit all day.
Oh, friggin' right,
day, right? So it was really annoying. And then I fell over dicking around on a concrete slab on my bicycle, and I hit my elbow in the concrete and bent the plate.
Oh, man.
So I got that taken out, and then and then it took I remember first if I could hold a bar of soap. That was like the first stage, and then I could lift my hand so it was parallel to my arm.
Yeah.
Right? And that was the next thing, and then it was slowly waking up. Then this finger started to open, then this finger, and then I remember I would put my hand up on the volume of my truck to turn.
Yeah.
I couldn't lift my wrist, so I would put my hand up and set my fingers on it, and then twist
it right.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
Squeezing never went away. It was just all the openings.
Yeah.
So it was just
fuck. That's weird, man.
So after I turned pro, then after that amateur breakout in 2003, then I didn't race for 2 years.
Yep.
And then came back. And then the story goes on from there. Really.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And then when you came back, is that when Cowie would have hooked you up? And
no, Cowie was later on. This is so in 2006, I did a few races. I ended up getting a podium at Sandali.
Yeah.
On a privateer Honda that my dad got me, and then
cool. Yeah.
And then I got picked up by Suzuki. So then I was Suzuki.
Oh, I knew you were. Yeah, I knew that. Yeah.
So then I was teammates with Mitch.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then and then I met Heidi that way.
Yeah.
And,
we got to get into the Heidi story.
Yeah,
we got to get into the Heidi story.
And so then I was on Suzuki for a while, and then did arena cross in the States, kind of simultaneously, and then I won a championship down there in arena cross, and then I was going to start doing some supercross stuff, but then I got picked up by Blackfoot.
Yeah.
And then my supercross trajectory kind of stopped because they didn't, I was contracted to race in Canada, and they didn't want me to do anything stupid. And you can kind of see even Jess Pettis going down trying to do the supercross thing, and then gets hurt, and then he screws up his whole season.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
And he's done that 2 years in a row, which sucks. I mean, he's a good kid and he's got so much talent, but that's kind of what the team was not wanting me to do. So
exactly.
I stopped my supercross stuff completely and just focused on motocross, and then that was pretty much when I was the supercross dream is done, because if you don't keep riding and training and building supercross skill, it's pretty much useless.
Just not something you can hop into once in a while.
Yeah,
even if you're riding all the time, right? You gotta be
exactly.
doing,
And it's there's so much shit that's out of your control in supercross. People jumping on you, going out and riding the track and having technique and riding it is okay, but going to the races and there's a lot of risk.
Oh, friggin' right.
And if you're not getting paid for that amount of risk, it's not worth it at all. So
yeah, for sure, man. I'd always be scared if people landed on me or something on them. It's just so tight. Yeah, it's so tight.
And then I rode with the KTM group for a while after that. After Blackfoot folded, the team folded. Yeah. And then I got to Cowie for 3 years. Yeah, 3 years, and then it was just kind of, there was two of me and Matt Gerke were on the Cowie team.
Yeah.
And we both were like top tier guys in the series. So they were paying us a lot of money to combine. The combined salaries from both of us was like kind of too much. So that's why they're like, look, we can't keep going. And then I wanted to kind of transition into woods racing and and then I got hooked up with Gas and Alex at Cobb.
Yeah, freaking right.
And then since then it's been really good.
Yeah. When we had Mitch on, he said like Alex was his best sponsor I think he's ever had. Like,
yeah, Alex is really good. And I think it shows like he runs his business like that too. It's more like younger, progressive. You know, he's not one of those old school like this is the way the dealerships are supposed to be. This is how much we got to do this. He's kind of like that new like breakout.
Like kind of recreating how it's done. Yeah, it's super cool.
And it seems to be paying off. Like he gets his name, like the dealership name.
You see it everywhere.
Yeah.
You see it. I have like certain people I know, like in Amherst and stuff, that just message me because they know, like I know Mitch and stuff, and be like, hey, do you like who is this Alex guy? Where's Cobb Equid? And I'm like, I don't even fucking sell that shit. Yeah, go down and see him. Alex is a great dude. Go to Collinwood. Like, it's cool. But yeah, people just see it all over the place. They're like, I've been asked too, like, is Callis and Cobb Equid like the same thing? Like, no. But yeah, he's definitely done an awesome job getting the brand out there,
right?
man.
Like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
It's like, seriously in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
that X Games
he's making her happen
too. So
friggin' right.
Yeah. I had the stuff on X Games with the snowmobile guys and the snow bikes and stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's fucking killing it over there. But yeah, let's can we talk about the Heidi story? How you met Heidi, how you came down and meeting Mitch and telling me like the sister and stuff. I love the story.
It started. I seen Heidi at Walton like because the amateur week, right?
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, I'd always watch. I'd see Heidi and I remember walking with my dad. I think I was like 15, and we were walking, and I was like, "Oh, there's Heidi," and he's like, "Get out of there! Like she's way too old for you. You don't have a chance. Stop that shit, right?"
Yeah.
And then and then like I had a crush on her forever, really.
Yeah.
And then Mitch and I were teammates, and then we came out here, and I would always bug him about Heidi, like just jokingly at first, right? And then I spent some time with him and her, and then I came out here when like the Nationals went to Riverglade.
Yeah,
I stayed out here and rode with Mitch for the week and just like flirted with Heidi and messed around with her bike and moved her handlebars around, and she took my gear bag and put it on the road and just dumb shit like that. And then like later on down the year, I was like, oh, Mitch, like. I'd always bug him like, Heidi's like, oh yeah, you want to get with my sister, do you? Okay. I was like, yeah, good luck. No fucking chance.
Yeah.
And then they gave me her number, and then that was it. I used up all my game. And
that's unreal.
We went to donations together. We're on the same team, and then Heidi volunteered to bring Mitch's bike to Ontario to drop it off.
Oh yeah. So you knew it was friggin'.
Just so happens that my place was on the way.
Yeah. Just by coincidence. Yeah. That's an unreal story, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was fun, and then it's just like, that was probably the best thing ever, really, that happened to me because. Yeah, like being out here is awesome. Even like your guys, even like the whole family situation you guys got in Brookfield is awesome, man. Yeah. Like having all the kids run around, everything's just sick. It's it's cool. It's been really cool, and then just the amount of freedom we have here, and like the amount of playing, like I said about Kamloops, is just as good here, but even I think he's even better because the food's better, the people are nicer. It's just I just think it's the place to be, and I think it's good. We got this little corner of the world that's it's not infiltrated yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Disease, like it's still pretty pure. So hopefully it stays like that for a while.
Yeah, and I'm like super new to even like no motocross stuff, but even seems around here there's like tracks and places to ride like everywhere. Like it blows my mind how many places you guys can ride around here. It's crazy.
So good, and that's the thing too. Like I can ride my bike from Brookfield to the track and go by cops, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You're not doing anything stupid. They know where you're gonna go, for the most part. So it's that thing that's pretty cool. And like back in Ontario, and even where we end up moving to Kempville, there's a lot of people that ride motocross in Ottawa.
Yeah,
they really have Sandalye. That's like really the only track that these people can ride at.
Seriously,
it's crazy. Yeah. Like, and I had a track in the backyard.
Yeah.
At my dad's place, and Like we either rode there or we rode at Sandali, or we waited till it rains and snuck in the sand pits and rode in the sand pits until the police came and kicked us out. And
seriously? Yeah.
That's really all you had.
That's crazy. Yeah. I would figure there were spots all over Ontario. I had no idea.
And like tracks would get like somebody would build a private track. It'd be good for a couple months, and then they'd get shut down because of the noise. And
But, freaking noise.
yeah. So I mean, it's awesome. Like just even the trail riding, you know, going up into 6 Mile Brook and all up there and Mount Tom, like just the freedom you have, you can just go and trails just cobweb forever and you get lost.
Yeah, that's unreal. And you've been building some trails, like with Cal's Raceway and stuff. Do you like really enjoy like building the trails and doing that aspect of it?
I almost like building the trails just as much as
seriously?
Yeah. It's just one of those things, you know, you get like people that go for walks and I like going in, looking at the landscape and seeing what we can figure out and use and be creative and just spend time in the woods, let the dog run around, get full of ticks, like the whole
freaking right, man. That's awesome. No, that's awesome, man. And what is it like? You've raced for Team Canada so much now. Like what do you like going into that? Do you still get like excited race for Team Canada, or is it like kind of like it's played out? Or
no, it's one of those things. It's like you have a couple, like even this year, for example, like I've been on the team 8 times, like for
that's unreal, man. Yeah,
and it's like, you know, I have a couple, like even this year, being in second points, and one of the things I thought about was like, okay, sweet, like that kind of, I can kind of punch my ticket to the nations again, maybe, you know what I mean, like if they pick me again, but that's like a big deal, and especially, and even ISDE, like I'm on the team for sure for that. And like that is like one of my targets for this year, because I got full like gas support over in France, and it's it's hard to explain that race, but it's one of the biggest motorcycling races there is, and it's like been going on for 100 years, and it's
that's one thing. It's like over days,
6
isn't
days,
it? Yeah, that's crazy, man. And how many like kilometers or miles do you go?
So it's like 300 and some Ks a day.
Holy shit.
You ride basically 7.5 hours a day.
Yeah.
And the 6th day is a motocross race, which is cool. But like, you have like, it's called an enduro. It's like a national enduro. So you start off and you go to a checkpoint, and then you have a time section. You have like 5 time trials throughout the day.
Okay, cool.
And then you have 5 checkpoints. So you have a certain time that you have to be at certain spots.
Yeah.
So you can't just take off whenever you want.
So it's like super strategic like this.
Yeah,
like
there's a lot of things to it. You can't you have to do all your bike work yourself. So after all that, like 7 hours of riding during the day, you have 15 minutes at the end of the day to do bike work. So your tires, you have to change tires. Yeah. So you have to. Yeah. You have 15 minutes to change your tires, do everything you need to do on the bike,
shit.
And then make sure the bike is still going to be able to run for the next day. And it's
that's intense.
15 minutes to change the tire. That's crazy.
And then you have,
especially if you dinged up your bike even more and needed like some other stuff or something like that. Like,
so you gotta it's not crazy technical or scary. Like the time trials are pretty basic, but still, like to get the transfers between, you got to go up like mountains, and it's pretty wild. So there's a lot of shit that can go out. Like one year I came through and I was looking at where to go up this hill, and my front wheel just hit a rock funny, and I dropped the bike, and I picked it up, and the radiator was junk. Like it must have hit so I had to change the radiator in the morning when you have 15 minutes at night and then 10 minutes in the morning. So I did my tires at night, and then we were discussing what the plan was for the next day. Yeah. Because do we put JB Weld on the hold and on the hole and hope that it holds, or do
for
we
like
just
7 hours? Yeah, it's crazy.
And potentially DNF.
Or,
try to get it changed in 10 minutes. Yeah. But I mean, so we ended up changing it. I didn't change. I was late, so I got a penalty because of time and stuff. But I finished the race. But anyways, it's just stuff like that. And then
that's crazy, man.
What's the trails like? Like, what are the trails like that you're riding in there? Like the cliffs and stuff. You're on like tiny little cliff faces.
Yeah, it varies, right? Like you basically start on a pedestal, and then there's 3 guys that go every minute. Yeah. Right. So, and then you start at like a Parc Fermé, it's called. It's just like the main spot where all the bikes are kept overnight and stuff. So then you start there, and then you follow arrows that are on the road. Yeah. And so you'll go on like actual roads and go around because the bikes have plates and lights and stuff. So then you'll go like through a farmer's field and then back onto another road, and then you go here and then you cross. You'll go through a trail and then get to, and then it'll come out onto a road, and then you'll see a bunch of cars and shit, and so you know that there's a test there. And then you line up, and then it's just like every 15 seconds there's people going. So you just line up and go, and then you rip your test, and then hit back on and follow the signs. Then you get to a checkpoint. Then you get food and people. Yeah. The only thing that the people there, the support, is allowed to do is put gas, do any of the fluids because it takes time to pour.
Yeah.
So there's support there. So you park at the thing and they fill up your gas, and then they tell you if you need to work on anything. Like they'll check over your bike while you're eating.
That's cool. It's like when you're preparing for like, do you guys just bring over parts on parts basically? Like when you go over there?
Yeah. Well, the thing is you have to know, like you have a crate for your bike.
Yeah.
And you just pack the stuff that you think you need, and then you have to get like the tires will be there.
Oh, I see.
And then there's a service, right? Like KTM and like the Gas and Husky have a service. So if you're in the checkpoint and you're working on your thing and you need an air filter, well, they have air filters there.
Oh, probably see. Yeah,
so you just get it, and they write down your number, and then you can just pay for shit if you don't have your spares there. Yeah. Obviously you bring stuff, but you're not. You travel so far.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
many different stations that you can't have everything everywhere.
Yeah, 100%.
So
yeah, no, that race that's wild, man.
That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, that's freaking wild. Another thing I want to ask too, like when you're racing around here right now, and no worries, you don't even want to answer this, but is there like any like beef on the scene right now with like any racers or anything, or like that you can talk about, or like say no worries to not talk about?
No, there's right now not really.
No, everyone gets along pretty well.
Gets along. There's some guys that do some stupid shit, but for the most part, I don't have to deal with that just because a lot of them have, a lot of them have respect, and I don't ride that way. And
it must be a lot like in the moment too, right? Like obviously people get heated in the moment, then after the race is kind of done type thing.
Yeah. There's been some guys in the past that I've not liked racing with. Like I got into it. This guy Jeff Northrup, we never really got along. I didn't know why. I put a pass on him one time, and then ever since then he didn't really like me. And but I mean that was a long time ago, so I didn't really have much. A lot of it actually was my brother getting into it with people.
Oh, seriously, yeah.
And then I would come and step in. Yeah, we were at an arena cross, and he was like, my brother's completely opposite of me. Like he's very serious and meticulous, and like to the point, and he wouldn't put up with any bullshit, and he spoke his mind. And like the same thing with how he raced. Like if somebody kind of bumped him, he would hit them back, or you know what I mean. So there was times where people were taking shots at him, and I would have to step up and like that Vince Freeze guy that races Supercross. He got paid a bonus to take Jeremy out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's
I watched
fucking
them.
Dirty.
They didn't really like each other, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then at the first round, he came up the inside and hit Jeremy, and I was like, okay, well, he probably deserved that in one way or the other, even though I think it's bullshit. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, they got it out of the way. And then the next round in Calgary, he fucking came in the inside and just T-boned Jeremy in practice for no reason.
And
he didn't
practice,
He didn't do anything in between that time, right?
Yeah.
And then I fucking lost it, and I went into the pits. I was screaming at him. I was telling him like, I was ready to fight.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I went in there screaming. They were ripping me out from my jersey, like pulling me out of the thing. And I asked him how he feels to be fucking hated by everybody in the industry, and just that. A lot of it was just the same thing. There was another guy that got into it with Jeremy in Arena Cross, and I had to fucking T-bone the shit out of him, and then he okay, we're done. Yeah. So that's pretty much been
yeah.
There is a lot shit that happens.
Well, that's like I always just hear that like in motocross. So I was just kind of curious, like even the Canadian scene, like if everyone talks about nice Canadians there. So I know it's kind of the same thing or what.
I do remember Brookfield, the one race, and I remember you and Mitch getting that little argument, and I will never forget that. That was a lot of screaming going on.
Oh yeah.
A little battling you guys had going on, but that was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it was good. There's always like, I mean. That's the thing, especially it's tough because local racing, like when you're racing locally and there's only like one or two of you,
Yeah,
that are
yeah.
fast, you end
Yeah.
up finding each other, and then and if you got to make a pass, and there's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a little
Well,
bit
especially brother-in-laws too. Like fucking, yeah.
Who else could you have a
More on
better
the
fight
table.
with?
Yeah, that's too
and
good.
I told him too, like during it, I was like, I'd do that fucking thing to you. I'd do it to Jeremy. I would do it again the next race.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, he was not happy.
I remember.
And then what you were saying, like Buddy got paid like a bonus to take someone out. Does that happen in the sport
No,
quite a bit, or is
it's
that
not.
pretty
That was-
not heard of?
That was
dirty.
rare. That was rare
Yeah,
and
yeah.
really greasy. And
That is, yeah.
I heard it from as reliable of a source as it could get.
Yeah,
so, I mean, like it was for sure a thing.
Yeah.
So it's just like dickheads like that earn a reputation, and you
Oh,
can
yeah,
see,
yeah.
Like even in Supercross, the stuff that he was doing and moves he was making on like Christian Craig and just bonehead moves. Some people just
Yeah.
don't like, and it's not even that he's not that bad of a guy off of the track, right?
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
It's just you.
Oh, in the
put
moment,
Put a
yeah.
helmet on, and then you just blinders, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Brain turns
Shut,
off.
shut your brain off and do stupid.
Think
shit.
about winning. Yeah.
Exactly. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's there. Like I said, there has been some heated stuff in Canada. I haven't really gotten to it much myself.
Yeah. No, cool, man. Just one sec. We got a question to play you too here.
Okay.
Just like short
second,
track. Short track fights.
Unless my computer doesn't. Oh,
You can turn
that
it
shut
on.
off.
Yeah, the short.
Short track fight.
It's gnarly out in short
Oh, man,
track.
that was
Short track's
awesome.
getting intense over here.
Oh, I love it.
One sec.
This one, I
Yeah.
had ran into a problem with at short track too. This guy, I was coming up on this guy, and I kind of felt bad about it. It was stupid of me to do it. Anyways, I was in the heat of the moment, but I'm coming by to pass this guy, and I said, "On your right, on your right, on your right."
Yeah.
Wouldn't get out of the way. Wouldn't move over. Wouldn't move over.
Yeah.
And like, there was plenty of times where he could have done it.
Yeah.
He just like literally would not get out of the way. Maybe just
Yeah.
because of how aggressive I sounded saying it. He was
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
"Oh, screw this punk. I'm fucking staying in my line." But we got back onto the road, and there was a puddle, and I bunny hopped the puddle, and I set my back wheel in it.
Yeah.
Splashed the shit out of it.
That's unreal.
And it was dumb.
Yeah.
I felt like an idiot. But
Oh well.
in the moment, it felt some good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Would have
look
been
what we
funny
got
to
on the
see.
screen right now.
But yeah. Here's a question from old Mitch Cook here.
God.
Here we go.
So if we're out practicing someday, just randomly say me and Mitch, Harry Mitch, are faster lap time than you, but a week later you find out we're actually cutting the track, what would you do? And would that bring up old memories of the time that you accused your brother of doing the same thing?
Oh.
Oh, that's
I don't
funny.
know. I don't know. Maybe dig a hole where the cheater line was.
Yeah.
Fucking dig a big hole. Hope that you guys fall in it. I'll get Alex to bring the excavator, and I'll do the jackass thing where you cover it with leaves.
Oh yeah. Let him go down booby trap.
Yeah.
The lawnmower trick.
Oh, that's unreal, man.
Oh no, and same thing. Like me and my brother used to get into it pretty heavily at the practice tracks. And,
Yeah.
brake checking each other, and well, it was mainly me just getting. I just lose my shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that shit.
Yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
It's always, I mean, just the way we are. It's just we're wired. We're always wondering, like, oh man, I'm on a good day. How fast are they going?
Oh, fucking right,
So-
man. Just to see the passion you guys have for it, like the drive's unreal, man. Like it just reminds me of like a fucking diehard hockey team. Like when you see some of these moto guys, like they're just so competitive. It's awesome, man. Like
and it's hard to explain too. It's like you don't even know where it comes from. But I think maybe it's just because same thing with hockey. It's like it's so like intense, and the risk that you take and the amount of like adrenaline there is. You just like you go into another place. Like, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't
100%,
matter. You don't care what you say or anything, right? Like there's yelling and like even sometimes with myself, like I'll be like trying to get by a lapper and I'll fucking lose my mind. Like, I'll just snap.
Yeah.
And it's not me. Like I'm
I know. Yeah.
I'm not like that day to day, but it's just, it gets heated.
You got to have a different mindset on the track. I completely get it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta keep my eye on those fuckers.
Yeah, that's right.
Start
Fucking
cheating.
cutting the track up the sand track or something to get their fucking lap times down here.
Yeah, so they'll just have to wait until the excavator gets back, and there'll be a big hole.
Yeah, that's too good, man. But yeah, and then I want to kind of talk about like my pit board. What you got going on over there?
That's sick.
That's super cool.
That's so
super
cool.
weapon of little weapon they got put on the bikes there.
Yeah, it's like a lot of the time. So initially, my mechanic from before, his name is Kibby, and yeah, he's a super smart kid.
Cool cat.
And yeah, really good guy. And we were having issues in the mechanics area. Like there was a couple times when I needed to know something and I couldn't see the pit board, and I'm like, we should just like build an app so that you can text me and it just shows up on my crossbar.
Yeah.
So he made an app where like, so we put like there's like a quad lock, it's called. You can get like a mount for your phone for your bike.
Yeah.
So I took a bar pad, like a square bar pad that protects like it protects your face and chest from hitting the handlebars. Hollowed it out, put a hole in the bottom and put the quad lock in. And then he built an app at school because he was going to university at the same time.
It's a pretty smart dude then.
So really smart kid.
Yeah.
And so he built the app and then he could text me from his phone. And the message, it would just be a message on my handlebars for a certain amount of time.
That is odd.
So we would test, and then we did that. That was like in 2015. We came up with that.
Yeah.
And then we tested it at my dad's, and like sure enough, like I'm riding, and like, he was texting me like nonsense, right? Like it's pretty funny. Like and then he would put my lap times up, and we're like, holy shit, this is the coolest thing ever. Like we need to capitalize.
It'd be awesome, man.
We're like, oh well. He didn't really have the time to do it extensively because he was studying. And then, we were like, who's going to want to put their $1,000 iPhone on their handlebars and race motocross, right? Like, I mean, I do because I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah. But, race is more important. yeah.
But a lot of people wouldn't. Yeah. So he's like, well, let's build a standalone device. So, he did it as a school project and it won a bunch of awards. It got a bunch of government grants. And, he coded it and we had a team there. And I was basically just the crash test dummy. I would just go try it. And now it's sold out. Every batch that they make is sold out.
Yeah, that's incredible, man.
So that's yours,
it's such a cool product.
And his company?
Yeah, well, like we started it together, and there's 4 of us that own shares in it, but he's the majority shareholder.
That's so cool.
Anyways, he put all the work in. He built it. So
it's super cool. Like even think of someone like myself who's like just starting, like slow as can be, but just to even like to push yourself. Like if you just saw that lap time, even if you're taking forever to get around there, start notice yourself getting a little quicker. You're gonna push yourself a little more and more and more.
That's how you get better.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and that's like I don't ride without. I don't practice without it.
No, seriously, yeah.
Like
what's funny because I don't even notice it on your guys' bikes.
Yeah.
Half the time, like when I was watching you guys ride, I'm like, oh yeah, they have a fucking pit board on there. I'm not even thinking. He knows his fucking time's going around there. Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is we didn't want it to be goofy and big and bulky and look stupid too. So that was a part of the whole thing, was to make it slim and make it, you know what I mean? And it's
you can't tell it's on there. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a lot of years of work and stress and stuff. And it's still hard to really make a go at it just because of hardware and delays and still shit from COVID, like trying to get microchips and GPSs for them and stuff. So it's a bit challenging that way. I think like he's, trying to get a job at Tesla or something, right? So it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, it's almost like an afterthought of now, but he's still building them and still selling them out. So, and the problem is like people keep saying like, hey, like, what if it does this? And what if you can upload it to an app and all this stuff? And when really the basic version of it, like what I use and what everybody's using right now is you don't need anything else other than that. Because it's all it is real-time info on the same day that you're doing it. So it's all relevant to that day anyways.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Like if you're trying like, well, my best time at Calais is a 1:17. Well, like that was... And then you ride it on a day where it's really rough and rutted. And
I see what you're saying. You ride it perfect conditions. You're going to cruise, and you ride it the next day, and it's a little drier or something.
So it's like maybe I'm riding better, but I'm doing 120s.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like that. So people wanting to, relay info from back. Like he's already got it built. He's building an app that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, that's super cool.
It's not like exactly like a my pit board thing, but it's more broad.
Yeah,
it's just more of like a lap time. Like social media, basically. So, and then you set a spot on any track, and then you save the GPS so you can have that spot saved for the day. Yeah, and then you just
that'd be your start
session, and then you go, and it'll tell you every single lap.
That's awesome.
Real time, so you can look down. Like if you hit a jump, you can peek down, or if you're in like a slower turn, you can peek down and see what your last
where
lap
you're at.
time.
Yeah.
That's so smart.
Shows how many laps you've done. your elapsed time, and your split.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
And you can organize it however you want.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like the main way it is, and it's it's a really good training tool.
Yeah, it's unreal. Now, was there any other pros that like got on one that you were like, oh fuck, but like that you were like hyped on? You're like, oh fuck, so and so is running one. This is sick.
Yeah, like I got messages from people all the time. Like Caleb Russell had one.
Yeah.
There's people like there's a lot of off-road guys like him that use it for training. There's some just because like. Yeah, it's just, you don't need somebody to tell you. You don't need somebody at the track telling you your lap times on a pit board.
Yeah.
You can do it yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and there's like, Tommy Searle, like MXGP guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
We've sent like, they sell a lot in Europe. It's pretty big.
Yeah, I didn't even think to ask you that. Like, do you think like street bike racers, like something like we'll start using that kind of thing or
Flat
something?
Track guys use it.
They're fuck. I didn't even think that you could. Yeah, you could use for any bike. I don't even thinking. Yeah. That's super cool, actually.
He's making a timing system for jet ski racing.
Oh, cool.
No way.
So it's just, and he's coming out with one that's like, the thing is they're pretty pricey.
Yeah.
With anything that's cool, it comes at a cost. He's making a lower cost one that's just a small, like a timing thing.
Yeah.
So then you just go onto the app afterwards and check it out.
But see all your stuff. Yeah.
It's just not real time like with the screen. So, I mean, that's kind of... I mean, for me, it's just if you're serious about racing and you want to get better, serious about
that's
racing,
key.
Or you don't give a shit about racing, you just want to be a better rider.
Yeah.
You want to get faster. It's the best tool you can use, really.
Yeah, friggin' right. Like, say it'd be fun if you were up by yourself, just doing some laps, just to know what you're doing, kind of thing. Yeah,
I used it too, at Calais. I was riding the sand track, the double track, and the single track, and making big laps, and I was trying to get my lap time to a certain amount. So I'd go and ride it as hard as I can. I'd be like, okay, it's at 12 minutes. Well, I need to build 3 more minutes worth of trail.
Yeah.
So then I'd go back in, cut a new section of trail, and then go out, and then it's 15 minutes. It's perfect.
Freaking right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool, man. Yeah. And then I want to ask too, did you ever get in like freestyle or anything when you were younger? Like do any of that stuff, or no? Were you just always racing?
No, I had a freestyle ramp.
Okay, because this one Talon hit was at your dad's house this summer, right? In the video,
Yeah, so that's still there. We had built that ramp.
What was like a go-to trick?
No foot can-cans.
No foot can-cans,
that was my go-to.
The Brian Deegan pads.
Yeah, I didn't have the spikes. I didn't really do because this was like 08, 09.
Yeah.
So there wasn't like backflips were just being introduced, and it was just stupid back then. Like holy shit, like that's insane. I couldn't even think about doing it on that, but we would just dick around on it and play.
Yeah. Just
like play ride and figure out some dorky little tricks and move on from there. But the thing too was scary is you'd set the ramp up and then you'd keep moving it back. Yeah. And you were hitting it like third gear wide open on a 450.
Oh, those things look scary as hell.
Go 40 feet up.
Yeah. Well, that's what I like. They're just like a quarter pipe almost. Yeah. Like, holy fuck. Yeah.
But the thing is it's easy because it's consistent. Like there's
just the same.
There's no kickers. There's no ruts. There's no rocks. It's full traction. So you can trust it.
Yeah, exactly.
But then you start hitting it fast. So we were caving in the cross members because we were hitting the base of it so hard. Oh, and you hit it and the whole ramp was like
shake. Yeah. That's too good, man.
Yeah, we'll probably be hitting that this summer if we're gonna stay.
Sick,
we're gonna stay at my dad's place in between 2 rounds.
Yeah,
2 rounds in Ontario. So
hell, you get some footage. That'd be awesome, man. Yeah,
hit the old ramp again.
That'd be awesome. And I want to do some hot takes too. Like, what is worst trends in motocross right now? What do you got?
Worst trends?
No underwear.
No, just like fruity edits instead of these guys are putting like slow-mo like trap music edits, but they don't really know how to use a front brake. It looks cool and you're like, oh man, that guy must be like sick, but then like you see them at the track, you're like, oh my god, dude, like you should pump the brakes.
Yeah, that video made you look way better.
I mean that's just me being old school and grumpy and shit, but I think that's a kind of something that I think is meh. People spend too much time with like trying to get a good edit instead of trying to be a better rider.
Be a rider. Yeah. And who do you got? Or actually, best whip in the game right now.
That's another tough one. I mean, if you watch Jared McNeil on the 2-stroke,
yeah,
his whips are pretty sick. And he's a small dude.
Yeah.
So for him to be that tiny and throw a big bike
Throw it
around
like
that is pretty impressive. I think, I think that's pretty impressive.
Cool.
The shit that Axel Hodges does is next
guys
level
are
too.
nut, yeah.
It's pretty cool to see.
Who would your favorite rider be that you looked up to for racing and say like over or even anywheres actually?
Yeah, I mean, there's Grant Langston is a guy that was a pro back in the day, and he was a commentator for the Outdoor Nationals. He won like GP championships. He won AMA championships, big bike, small bike. He was pretty well rounded. I think he was. I looked up to him because he had cool style and he could throw. Like he was like one of the guys starting sick whips back in the day. So
that's sick.
Grant Langston. Or like I looked up to Doug Henry too when I was injured because he had like a similar back injury that I had.
Oh yeah,
and he came back and won the championship. So I got
just like drawing some big inspo from something like that. Yeah, especially when you're hurt. Yeah. Give you something. Yeah. No, that's cool.
Like you see like it could be done. So
yeah. No, friggin' right. And best motocross movie of all time.
Winner Takes All.
Winner Takes All?
Yeah.
Cool.
I quote that movie all the time.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not with somebody, I'll see something that'll like spark a quote. I'll say it to myself in my head and just kind of think just get a good chuckle out of it.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
I think it's from the 80s.
Yeah.
It's just like a dorky ass like cheese ball movie.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Just good. Yeah.
It's actually a really good movie.
I like the old obviously like Krusty Demons of Dirt and Terra Firma and stuff where you get like, but I think the Winner Takes All was probably my favorite.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. and then last hot take I guess would be what who do you think's the greatest of all time? Go.
It's hard to go against Carmichael.
I agree.
Yeah. I think that's what Mitch said too. Actually, yeah.
He's so badass. Like, just like he changed the game. You know.
Yeah.
He changed the game and turned it into like a proper sport.
Yeah. Friggin' right.
Yeah. So I think
Carmichael. Yeah. Carmichael. And I guess the last one would be like any new trends that you're like seeing these young kids do that you're like, fuck, that's cool, or like, yeah, I like this.
I like the new like Oppo whips.
Yeah, cool.
Those look sick. I wish I could be a little bit better at it, but
yeah, those look wild to me, man. I don't even understand that.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's a trend that's pretty sick. It's
pretty
catching. I think there's other stuff too that's kind of cool. There's some stuff like throwback stuff that's cool that I thought would be cool to come back. That starting to come back. Like they had the helmet fin that for a while.
Oh, the TLD.
That was pretty cool for a bit.
Yeah,
but I think everyone doing pretty sick oppos. It looks cool.
Mm-hmm. Freaking right.
Stylish. Yeah.
Man, just a couple more questions. We'll get you out of here. But or I guess with Callus and stuff, and you being in there, like how much do you like designing like your own gear? Like you did some gloves and gear now. Like do you like being on that side of thing or?
Yeah. I really like it. It's it's tricky. Like it's hard to you want to be different, but you don't want to be stupid different.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be completely out there and be kooky, but it's got to work, to have like a stylish different and have your own to have your own style and be different without it, already been played out or look lame is tricky. So it's fun trying to come up with stuff and grabbing like inspiration from different things. Like I was just browsing through, for example, YouTube and like this old, thumbnail came up of like past NBA championships, and it started at like 1954, and then like the teams just kind of just browsed across the screen. So 54, 55, and then like looking how their logos changed and like the colors changed and just like evolution from that. Like I like thought that was pretty cool, and I sent AJ some like
showed out AJ White as all the graphic design.
AJ sent him some stuff from like basketball, like different like color combos I think would look pretty cool. And then
like Saxon's jersey there, like that's pretty dope. Like the Bulls jersey that he did all up, that was pretty badass.
Sexton's Chicago Bulls one. That was sick. That was sick. So like just stuff like that I find it really cool. Then obviously with the Team Canada stuff, it's fun, trying to make something classy and that, that the people on the team will want to run.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Doing Canada stuff be fun as hell, actually, because so much stuff's been done. You really get to kind of try to think out of the box. And
then it's just like something too. It's like it's going towards something. We can make it, we can build a kit and then have a limited edition and then have some of it like go towards like flights or something for the team. And so I think that's pretty cool. And then the whole thing with getting the gloves dialed in, because that's how it, we started with building gloves because we wanted, being picky about gloves is like number one thing with motocross, right? It just like goes hand in hand, being picky about gloves and grips and levers and bars and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that was cool about Cal's coming up with the gloves and stuff.
Yeah, no, like I said, I love that. That new smoke perp kit's unreal, man. That's like one of the coolest kits I've seen.
Yeah, and it looks
that thing
good
is
too.
sick.
It looks good too. I like it.
Yeah.
I wore it on in Manitoba, and I was stoked on the pictures that.
Yeah, you looked awesome on the bike, man. That was sick. And just last thing, like, what's how you finishing out the year? What's to come this year? Are you looking to
He's looking good.
Looking to ride more trails after the season, or just all steam ahead for racing?
Yeah, well, I got.
Or I guess it's all racing, but
I got a new 350 that Heidi just broke in yesterday.
Yeah.
So I gotta almost put like a dog collar on. So if I go too close to the woods bike, it'll zap.
Yeah.
So like as soon as moto's done, I'm gonna be hitting the woods.
Hit the woods, sure. Yeah. Awesome, man.
But right now I'm having fun earning podiums and earning money and doing my job as a racer, and hopefully I can bridge the gap to Dylan and chip away at a points lead, hopefully. But I just stay consistent and do the best I can, really.
Friggin' right, man.
Hell yeah.
Love to hear it. Awesome, man. I think that'll about do her. But thanks so much for coming on, Todd. Really appreciate the time, man. Yeah, we got to do a whole one with you, Mitch, and a couple other people. It'll be a blast.
After the season too, so we can get into the sauce.
Friggin' right. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. But thanks everybody that's watching. Remember to head up www.hafstore.ca, promo code HAF Hour, 20% off your orders. And thanks a lot for the time, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Peace out.
It's not quite